What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Ocular Medicus, their version of a Masterpiece First Aid. So this is the first in their line of Protectobots to make up their Combiner Defensor. I did have all of their bots for the Medicus version, and I really liked those individual bot modes and vehicle modes. So when this was announced, I was like, definitely going to get these. Now, it may not be the right size in terms of combined mode, but the robot and vehicle modes are definitely for me. So let's take a look at this guy. Let's start off with the collector's card here. So there it is. They always do nice little G1 style cards. There's his bio. I really need to go back and read some of these bios. Some of them are really interesting. And then there's his tech specs. He's got some really high numbers. But there you go for that. He also comes with a single accessory, which is this gun right here. It does fold up to be stored in the vehicle mode, but you can get that into his hand. Go ahead and open up the fingers. And it just kind of pegs in. It's a little bit different than the usual type of hand, but it does fit in very securely. It's got a pea shooter there. Tiny little gun. So I guess First Aid was a pacifist, so he doesn't really shoot people anyway, but he does have a very small gun. Let's take a look at this guy. We'll put the G1 cartoon over there so you can compare. Really, really nice looking overall. You do have some red paint here on the front, more darker paint, a lighter paint here on the face and the eye mask. Got some paint here on the side for the emergency and the glass. Here's the back, really nice and clean. Everything cleans up, stores away. They did a great job on the overall design. Now, let's take a look at his articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so you get up and down. Now, you can also move the joint that it's on. It actually locks into here onto those two pegs. So if you take them off those pegs, you can get all the way back like that. So he gets plenty of movement. You get a side-to-side movement, and you get the rotation all the way around. Nice tight joints. You have a shoulder that goes up to there, and then you can get it up to there as well on this joint. So nice movement there. Rotation at the shoulder. You have rotation at the bicep. Double joint to elbow gets you the full bend. You do have a wrist rotation. Individually articulated fingers, although it is curled, so if you wanted to point, you can't really do that. Then the thumb is on a ball joint, and it comes up and out, and you can rotate that around. So nice little hands there. Your rotation at the waist rotates all the way around. You have a ratcheted ab crunch. It gets you down to there, and it holds its position because of the ratchet. Really smart. I wish more companies would do that. It's really nice. Hip skirts, get out of the way. You can see his big chunky thighs underneath. You do have a single hip skirt for the back. I don't love it, but since it's on the back, I don't mind too much. But legs go up to there, back to there on friction, but hindered due to the sculpt. And then out to the side on friction. All nice tolerances on all of those joints. You have a rotation at the thigh and a rotation at the knee. So if you try to rotate holding here, you might end up rotating the other one. So you get two rotations there. You have a single jointed knee, gets you 90 degrees. And you have an ankle tilt all the way to there. Really love the way they did this. It just integrates so well. And then you have a rocker this direction as well, and a toe tilt. So really anything you'd need on that. And for a size comparison, there is Medicus next to the MP44 Optimus Prime and the Takara Masterpiece Ironhide. And you can see he comes in shorter. I think it makes sense as far as the scale. Now, the reason I'm putting this in here is we are going to take a look at the vehicle mode. This is a Nissan Cherry Vanette, and this is going to also be a variation of that van. So interesting that they transform into much bigger robots than these. But there you go for scale. All right, now let's get Medicus transformed into his vehicle mode. I love the relatively simple and fun transformation on these guys. They always do a good job. So let's get started. Go ahead and lift the arms up. We're going to open up this panel here. Rotate the hand 180 degrees. Push that in and then close up that panel. Take the arm and you're going to fold on this panel. Now it helps to have a spudger or something to get this panel popped open. Otherwise it's a little bit tough. But fold this arm down and then it's going to peg in right here. Right? That arm is going to fold upwards, rotate to the back, and that's one arm done. So let's go ahead and do this one now. Go ahead and open up the panel, rotate this around. We'll go a little faster this time. Fold that up, close that down, pop this panel open with a spudger or something. You can probably get it with your hand, but just to not waste time, I'll use a spudger. Go ahead and get this collapsed down into an L. Rotate this up, and this is going to fold upwards, and leave that like that. Go ahead and tilt the head back, open up this panel. The head's going to go down inwards, and then that's going to sit on top, just like that. Come to the back here, open this up, open that up, and now we can access all of this. Fold the doors out on the sides. Pull this straight out. That's going to allow you to get access to this. So you're going to pull this down, fold these up, fold these outwards, and you have to angle them up just a little bit. So normally they're going to sit like this, but angle them up, and that's going to allow you to get the arms down and inside. Right, so take these arms, those are going to fold down. See, there's a tab right here, so make sure you hit that tab right there. Get that all the way in, tab it in, and then tab it in on the top there. Right, so that's one side. Same thing on this side. Fold this down and in, tab it in, and then tab that in. Put the lights down, the translucent lights, those are just going to tab right into the top there. All right, next go ahead and take these wheels, and you can do this at any time, but right now you have to do it because before you can put down this piece, you want to do that. Go ahead and take this, rotate this around. This is going to come down and peg into right here. So push that down and line that up and peg it in. Right, so that's what it should look like from the front. Go ahead and take this. We're going to take the doors here. They're going to tab into the side of the arms. And then there's another tab right here that's going to go into there. So get both tabs in. You do have to kind of give it a firm push. It's a very tight tab. This is a rubber, but it doesn't have a lot of plastic, so just be careful with that. Same on this side, push that in and give it a nice squeeze. All right, last little bit here is going to take this. This is going to fold down. And then go ahead and tab that into the front. Cool looking glass right there. I love how that turned out. Now I can work at the legs. So the legs are a little bit more complex, but still enjoyable. So go ahead and open this up, fold that panel down. I'm going to take all of this apart. So you got to pull the outer panel out this way, and it's going to untab from here. It's also tabbing into the side, so there's like kind of two tabs on that. But go ahead and take this, and we're going to pull this down and open that up. And you can see this leg is on a slider. So underneath you can see there's a slider there. So that slider is going to slide down. And it's interesting how this transforms. So go ahead and take this, rotate this around, and that has to clear right here. It's allow you to fold the hand up, and you want to straighten out these fingers, and you can see this is going to make the hands for the combined mode. But straighten those fingers so it looks basically straight, just like that, and then leave the thumb down like that. Fold this back in, and it's going to sit right on top of here. Right? And those are going to fit underneath this panel. So you got to have it all lined up, otherwise you're going to have issues later. Go ahead and take this and then push that down. It should collapse right on top of those fingers. All right. Go ahead and take this, and this is going to collapse down. You can see how that goes. So let's leave that open for now. Let's work on this one now. And this panel does tend to pop open, but it is going to sit right there when it's done. All right, so same thing on this side. Open this panel up, fold this down, come to the outside here. You're going to pop this panel open. That'll allow you to pull this upwards, take the side of the leg, and oops, and that's going to pull upwards on here and fold that open. Take the foot, that's going to fold down into here, and then take the toe and fold that flat to make the back of the truck or the back of the vehicle. Go ahead and fold this outwards, straighten up the fingers, and then fold them forward so you have them pointing straight like that. Close up this panel and then sit them on top of here. I'm going to rotate this panel around and make sure you clear the little tab right there, and then actually tab it in. There you go. Now that you have that, go ahead and take this, close that down and collapse it. Make sure the fingers fit nicely in there, and then close that panel up. Now we can take this, remember to collapse your thigh inwards, and we're going to take these two thighs and we're going to push them together. So before we collapse the actual truck, take these and push them together and get them as close as you can. Okay? Now we can take this, and this is going to collapse down. Open up the ab crunch like this, and that'll make it a little bit easier. Make sure you have that in there, otherwise you're going to have trouble. Right? Same on this side. Fold this in. And you do have to have this pulled all the way up, otherwise you're going to have trouble collapsing this. But go ahead and collapse that down. Make sure these panels are in. Right? And all of that's going to collapse down and combine together. So get all these tabs lined up and give it a nice squeeze. If it's not squeezing together, it most likely means your thighs aren't pushed all the way in. So you can just come back to here, give these a nice squeeze. These really need to be in all the way. Right? All right, anyway, so get these squeezed together. Take a look down here. There's a tab right there as well. Get that in. And once you have that all nice and squeezed, go ahead and take this and close that ab crunch and get that plugged in. And there you have Medicus transformed into his vehicle mode. Really nice looking vehicle mode. There's the front. You got the silver headlights, yellow blinkers, black paint here for the outline, and then also for the front. Black paint along the side. There says emergency. I do have a little bit of trouble lining everything up. Like I have a little gap here. But overall, it's a very nice looking vehicle. Painted blue windows here. Here's the back. And again, I do have a little bit of gap up here. I'm not sure if it's my issue or issue with the figure, but I do have that. Overall, nice looking vehicle. I just not sure why it's popping out. Nice looking wheels and tires as well. It does roll, although I have one wheel that's a little stuck, so it gets caught up. It's this one right here. The rest roll freely, so I'll have to take a look at that wheel. But overall, really nice looking vehicle. Now you can store the weapon, so if you close that down, you come to the side here, and it's probably easier to do this beforehand, but they do show it in the book that you can do it after. But go ahead and get this panel popped open, and it fits right in here. Either door, doesn't matter. It's right in there. Go ahead and close that door. Make sure you get it all lined up again. And there you go. Store it away. Let's see, done. I do like this vehicle mode quite a bit. And for a size comparison, there it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime and the Takara Tomy version of Ratchet. And you can see the difference here. I think this is something that people want to see. So basically same length, same width. The Takara is taller. Now, it does look like it's got an extension up here on the roof, whereas this one doesn't. So I don't know if these are different models or not. I'm not an expert on Japanese ambulances, but I do like the way they look together. I think it does fit in perfectly with the Masterpiece aesthetic. So there you go. All right, now let's get Medicus transformed into his combined mode. Again, relatively simple and fun. Go ahead and split it here. Go ahead and take the legs, and those are going to collapse down like this. Come to the inside here, open up this panel. We're going to pull up on this and fold that down. Take the hand and unpeg it from the side here. And just be careful with that tab. Go ahead and rotate this around so it comes down to the bottom, and then peg it back into the side. There's a tab right there. All right. Go ahead and close that back up. Take this, close that back up. Extend this all the way, and then take this tab, open this up, and that's going to peg in to the top. It has to be one slot down, so you can see that screw is not all the way up, it's just one click down. All right, so that's one side. We can go ahead and do the other side now. Let's go ahead and take this, open up this panel, pull up on this here and fold that down. Take the hand piece here, unpeg it from the inside, rotate this around and get it pegged back in to the side of the vehicle. Go ahead and take this and close this back up, tab that back in, push the leg down almost all the way down, pull the leg out almost all the way, but one click in, tab this in, fold this panel down, and now we're going to tab the two arms together and make sure you get all the tabs in. Even the hand has a tab there. Fold out the thumb. It's a pretty small thumb, but that's how it looks. And if you want to be cartoon accurate, you do need to open up this panel. We'll do that at the end, but come over here, fold this down. You may need a spudger to just pop this panel, but pop that panel open, and then you're going to fold down here, and you got to go all the way and then fold down, and that's going to pop out this combiner joint. All right, and this is going to fit into the side of Defensor, which is really cool. You could probably fit it right into the bot we have already, but you can take the hand. So final steps here, go ahead and fold this down right here at the wrist joint. Pop up here. And I personally don't care. I know that's cartoon accurate, but I think it's dumb. I would just rather just keep that plugged in. And there you have the arm. And he's got some nice articulation there. You can fold at the elbow. And sometimes this panel pops out, but you can get all the way down to there. Rotation up here and here, of course. You have a rotation at the hand. Individually articulated fingers at 1, 2, 3 pins. Here's the size of the hands. Pretty cool overall. And for size comparison, there is the arm next to the Zeta Toys Supertron arm. You can see quite a bit smaller. The hand is smaller. So it is going to be a smaller combiner, but just to get a sense of the scale, there you go. So final thoughts on the Ocular Max Medicus. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks really great in all three modes. The robot mode, the vehicle mode, and the combined mode. They all just look really nice. The design overall and the transformation is really nice. It's very fun and intuitive. I didn't feel any frustration while transforming it. I also think that the overall paint scheme, there's not a lot of paint, but where it is applied, it looks good. But the quality is really good on this. It feels really solid in hand. Nothing moves on it. All the joints are nice and tight. All the transformation parts just feel good. So that's something to be said. This MMC and Ocular Max have really good designers. They know how to make something so it's intuitive and fun to transform. And that's something I really like. Negatives wise, I think the vehicle mode could have tabbed together a little bit better. I don't know if that's my copy or a general issue with this figure, but my vehicle mode doesn't tab together all that well. But it still looks great in vehicle mode. I also think the combined mode arm is a little bit on the small side. Now that's a completely unfair complaint because we knew going in this is going to be a smaller combiner. It's not going to be the same size as Zeta Toys or any of the other Toy World combiners. So if you're looking for a robot mode or vehicle mode for your Protectobots, this is the one. This is the best one out there, at least in my opinion. I think this really, they just nailed it. If you're looking for a combined mode that fits in with Zeta or the others, it's probably going to not measure up. We already know that now. So if that's what you're trying to do, then this is probably not the right one for you. Me, personally, I'm planning to use these in their robot modes. I think they look great so far. So highly recommend this, especially for robot mode and vehicle mode. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.